You are not about to bully me.
But all the elements live rent free in my mind. Booty.
Hey queens, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. Child, I've been sitting here trying to record this video for the past 30 minutes now, and I'm just like, is this a sign that I shouldn't? Because my neighbors are renovating, they're making so much noise, the light keeps fluctuating because I decided to throw out my softbox light. I mean, it was broken. I broke my nail. It's just not looking good, bruh. And I just had to format my memory card because there was a memory card error while I was recording, so hopefully it's not gonna happen now. Girl, please. A lot of things are happening all at once. But anyway, if you're new over here, my name is Lydia. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. It's Lydia_MSM. Pinterest and TikTok are at Styled by LYDIA M. But anyway, what am I wearing today? I'm wearing my top, which is from Nike. I'm wearing matching white sweatpants. I was about to lift my leg up. That is so not classy, but I'm wearing an all white outfit. My little ear cuff is from H&M. I think I've had this since 2020 or 2021. It was definitely 2020, yeah. And these earrings are from Taobao. Okay, that's what we're wearing. So anyway, queens, let's just get into this video. I don't want this to be too long. So in this video, I'll basically be sharing with you how changing my attitude renewed me and just my overall perspective and outlook and experiences in life. Okay, how just making a small change in my attitude, or big change actually, has altered my life and just me altogether. So all in all, I'll be sharing 3 different points, and hopefully this will also be useful for somebody else. Okay, even if it's just one person, that's okay. Okay, so let's just get into the video. Okay, so I have my phone over here. I'm just gonna read the points off. It's much better than me trying to memorize everything that I wrote down. So basically the first point is enjoy the little things instead of complaining through them. Okay, that's the first point. Now, if there was ever an award for people complaining through life, that I would literally be the winner. I will just be the winner. It would be my face on the trophy. I used to complain about almost everything. Complain, especially when it came to situations that were very uncomfortable for me, something that's out of the norm and out of the ordinary for me, something that's out of my comfort zone. Instead of just going through the experience, just living through it and going through it because it is happening anyway, I would complain through it, I would sulk through it, just be a pain in the butt for whoever is in my presence, just an annoying person. I used to be that person, complaining about everything, complaining about situations that cannot change. I have to do it. It's a chore, it's a task, it's a responsibility, it's part of my job, it's something that I actually have to do. I would just complain through it, and I didn't realize just how much it had altered the way I was living life, or just my attitude towards life altogether. And obviously it was a slow, gradual process. It didn't just happen in one day where I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna change this. It started gradually with the little, decisions that I was making, that okay, I have to complete this task, I'm just gonna go through with it. We're not gonna complain through it. Complaining about it just prolongs it. How about I just allow myself to go through the process? I allow myself to enjoy it, just try to find pleasure in this very thing that I have to do, because complaining about it, like I said, does not eliminate the fact that I have to do it. I have to do it anyway, And so with regards to this particular issue or area or point that I'm talking about, a very drastic thing had to happen for me to finally snap out of it, or just come to the full realization of just how much of an annoying person I'd become because I complained so much. And this unfortunately had to happen in a professional setting. And when I say that, that experience lives rent-free in my mind to this day. It lives rent-free in my mind. Whenever I think of acting out of character, whenever I think of just being that person again or reverting to my old tendencies, that just lives rent-free in my mind. And honestly, it took me a long time to realize that maybe that was even God allowing for that to happen, so he can just burst my bubble, so I can just have a full experience of the type of person I had become. Because I feel like sometimes, honestly, having our friends, because I'm not going to hold my friend accountable or like kind of blame her for anything, but I feel like there were instances where my best friend probably could have, you know, not enabled my behavior and called me out, because I feel like I was too far gone to even realize some of the things that I was saying or even doing, you know. And I think God had to kind of put me through that. I call it a humiliation ritual but that's not what it was. But I feel like it had to happen in that manner, in such a drastic fashion or manner, for me to actually get a full scope of the kind of person I had become, you know. Because I mean, I have to say, the people around me had become enablers, because I don't recall a single person calling me out for my behavior, my attitude, just my tendencies, and just how naggy I had become. They were probably sparing my feelings, or maybe they also felt like, okay, she's just this hyena, and I cannot blame them or fault them, because they probably got to a point where they just like, this person is just ready to snap at any point in time. She complains about everything. She's such a Debbie Downer. She's such a negative person, but she's my friend and I love her. Therefore, I'm just gonna enable this kind of behavior to go on and on. And I honestly feel like that particular experience in my previous job, in a professional work setting, had to happen for me to just snap out of this little delusional bubble I was living in, you know? And so yeah, I know that now I've listed a lot of points, but honestly what it is the minute I decided to change my attitude towards life, just my attitude about experiences that I don't want to be a part of, you know, situations that are very irritating and annoying for me, but that have to happen. I'm talking about, I used to complain about everything. Complain about the fact that I have to go to work. Complain about the fact that I need to have a job to exist and live and survive. I complained about everything. Complained about my tasks at work. I complained about everything. I was such a complainer. I would even complain about, oh, I have to be on my period. Because I'm on my period, I have to go and buy pads. Oh my gosh, can't believe I have to wear a pad to bed. It's just like, ma'am, it is what it is. It's just like part of your monthly cycle. It's gonna come at some point during the month, meaning that it happens 12 times in a year. Are you gonna complain about everything? But I was that person who complained, so yeah. So anyway, just to give you a bit of context when I'm talking about this one thing that had to happen in a professional setting, where, you know, I had become such an insufferable person, but I was too far gone to even bring myself out of that. And I believe that that had to happen for me to snap out of it. So basically, long story short, in my previous job, before I came to this job that I currently have, teachers were just resigning and leaving, you know, switching jobs, moving out of the country. And it came to a point where there were just 3 foreign teachers. And at some point I was working in the same company, same school, same job with my best friend. That's actually how we became friends, because when she came into my school, I was her mentor, she was my mentee, and you know, our relationship just developed from that, and we became friends, and it gradually moved to that place where we're at right now. We've been friends for, I think, 3 years, over 3 years. So yeah, anyway, at that point she had already left and moved to her new job, and I was still in my school. Like I said, at that point there were only 3 international teachers, or foreign teachers if you may, and the other teachers who formed part of the team were local teachers. At that point I was just too far gone. Like I said, if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be a team player. I don't want to be part of the team. So I just didn't realize the type of person I had become until that very experience where we were having a team building. And because there were only 3 foreign teachers left, international teachers if you may, left, we were having a team building activity, and they were like, okay, since we have 3 foreign teachers, they will be the 3 leaders, right? And the local teachers will basically form part of our teams, but we would be the main leaders, you know, we would basically be delegating different tasks in the team, whatever, for the presentation that we had to come up with. And I am telling you that at that point in time, I was sulking every day going to work. I do not want to be here anymore. I hate it. Why must I be here? Like, I'm over it. God, I've been asking for a new job. You're not giving me another job. I was just like in my complaining era, just being irritating. I don't want to do anything. I'm just annoying. And when I looked back and reflected, there were certain instances where, you know, you'd see with the small things, you know, when it comes to people getting random gifts, I will never get it. People getting random thank you drinks or whatever, I would never get that. But I just did not care because I was in my I hate life era, in my negative energy era. So anyway, on this particular day, we're having the team building thing, and then the foreign teachers had to stand up. We stood in front of this very huge classroom, which was not an auditorium. That's exaggerating it, but the classroom was quite huge. So the foreign teachers had to go to the front of the classroom. My director of studies was like, okay, so now for the local teachers, this is your chance to stand up and go to the team leader whose team you want to be a part of. And I am telling you that at that point in time, the whole classroom split into two. Half of the group went to the one foreign teacher, and the other half went to the second foreign teacher. And I was standing in front of the classroom with my head of department in there, her assistants in there, and I was the only teacher standing in front of the classroom with nobody as part of my team. And when I say till this day, it's 2024, that happened in 2022, till this day, it lives rent-free in my mind. I will never forget that experience. That was such a snap out of it. That was such a ding ding ding, quack, 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 whatever you want to come up with. That was that moment for me. I remember standing in front of the classroom, and for me it was not even feeling embarrassed, but it was finally realizing the type of person I had become, because I just complain about everything. I'm such a Debbie Downer. I'm a negative person. And that moment was just that for me, the revelation that you have become such an insufferable person that nobody even wants to be around you. And at that point, like I said, my best friend had left, and I feel like the old me, had that happened with her, obviously I know she would have come to my team. But no, actually thinking about it, if we're having that type of setup, she was going to be the fourth foreign teacher. But I feel like under those circumstances, I probably would have consoled myself like, oh, whatever, like, who cares anyway, you know. And she would have probably stroked my ego like, oh, you know, it's okay, Miss Mamas, don't overthink it. But I feel like God chose for it to happen in that manner at that particular point in time, because I had to go through that. So, oh my goodness, I am telling you right now that that moment lives rent-free in my mind. Whenever I think of being a negative person, I'm thinking of just being a Debbie Downer, a negative Nancy, don't want to be part of the team. I remember that particular moment. And obviously afterwards, you know, the head of department had to go to the different classrooms because we had already split up to conceptualize, you know, what we were going to present in front of the whole school. And she went to them and told them, okay, no, a couple of people from this team and a couple of people from that team, you have to go and, you know, form part of Lydia's team. She cannot just be alone. But for me, I did not even care about that. I feel like at that point in time, I almost felt naked, as if God stripped me off of my ego. He stripped me off of this delusional bubble I was living in, and I was just like, I was not even embarrassed. Like, embarrassed is not a word I can use to describe how I felt in the moment. I just felt exposed. I felt like God has stripped me off of this skin that I had covered myself in. And it's like, this is you. This is who you've become. This is the type of person you've been walking around with, this tough exterior, like, I just don't care, don't want to be here. You're so insufferable, nobody even wants to be around you. When I say that, that experience lives rent-free in my mind. Lives rent-free in my mind. So yeah, I just wanted to give you that example just to contextualize the change that I made to my attitude, that even if I don't want to do something, I'm just gonna pace myself through it because I have to do it anyway. Instead of complaining and just being a negative person, I just have programmed my mind to look at things in a positive way, that even if I don't want to do it, it's uncomfortable. I hate performing in front of people, and last week in my school we had to have a performance as part of the end of semester dinner, and I felt that ugly monster rearing its ugly head that I don't want to do it. I don't like dancing, I don't know how to dance, I don't like singing. Stuff like that just make me feel uncomfortable. But I was like, you know what, to be part of the team, you cannot be sitting here sulking and being on stage in front of your school principal and all these other people who are coming. Since you have to do it and you don't have a choice, baby girl, just go through it with a smile. Try to get some fun out of it. Try to have fun while you're doing it, even though it's uncomfortable. So once I adjusted that, if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it, I hate it here attitude, I've really started enjoying life and just living through uncomfortable experiences, taking them for what they are and trying to have fun through those uncomfortable experiences. And there's just been such a change in my life and how I go through life and go through different experiences. So yeah, that's a very long first point that I wanted to share. Okay, so the second attitude change that I've made, basically, well, I said praying over the spirit of offense, and in bracket I said I don't need to react to every and anything, because baby, I think it kind of ties in with the first point that I mentioned, but I basically used to have a very inflated spirit of offense. I used to get offended about everything. I used to just be ready to rumble. I'm gonna bite your head off if I need to. We need to tussle, we'll tussle. I'm ready to fight. I am ready to get into an argument right now. You are not about to do that with me. I just used to be a very reactive person, and once I got to that point of understanding that I don't need to react to everything, I don't have to react to everything. Certain things just don't require that type of reaction. They don't deserve my energy. Just changing that behavior and making adjustments in that area of my life, I've seen a huge improvement in the quality of my life and the fact that I enjoy life more now. Obviously this, you know, is a reactory response to past experiences that I've had. I've been bullied before, more so in my professional environment. You know, before I moved to China, I had 3 different jobs back home, and of those 3 different jobs, in both jobs I was bullied by my manager, someone who's in a higher position, and that kind of tainted the attitude that I had also when I eventually moved to China. I was just like, if you think you're about to be in a position of power just because I'm your subordinate and you're my manager, you think you're about to bully me? You have something coming. So I feel like I just had this spirit of offense where I was just ready to rumble, ready to tussle, ready to argue you down. I do not care, I'm gonna get my point across type of thing. And I think that's also what kind of contributed to the attitude and energy I had in my first job. I just came in with that bruised, I was bullied by my manager shortly before I came to China, so I'm not about to allow anybody else to make me feel that way. You know, in my previous job before I moved to China, when I was still back home, it came to a point where I just hated waking up, going to work, knowing that that's what waited for me at work. You know, someone who just, you see the thrill that they have in their eye that I'm gonna make this a living hell for you. You're gonna hate coming to work. You are definitely gonna hate coming to work. You are gonna hate waking up in the morning, getting ready and coming to work. And I think with that I had to come to a point of healing and understanding. Obviously therapy helped, and then just praying over the spirit of offense and just dissociating myself with that experience, that's what I encountered and went through when I was back home, and I don't need to carry that spirit with me. You don't need to, you know, assume the worst of people in every situation. Not everyone is trying to bully you, not everyone is trying to talk down on you, not everyone is trying to abuse their power and oppress you in any way, shape or form. Sometimes it is what it is, you know, that this person is going through whatever they're going through. Just because they are carrying that, I don't need to react to it, you know. And just making that slight change, I've seen such a huge improvement in how I enjoy my friendships now, how I function and operate in social settings, just how I interact with people. Because now I realize that not everyone is out to bully me, not everyone is out to hurt me, not everyone is out to harm me. And more than anything, most importantly, not every situation, interaction or encounter that I have with people, not every situation warrants a reaction from me. And once I stumbled upon this gem in my adult life, baby, I've been enjoying myself, because now I'm to a point where I can just sit back and analyze the situation for what it is, that you're having a bad day, you're going through whatever it is that you're facing in your personal life, and you're trying to bring it over here. But I've analyzed it and I've assessed it for what it is. I'm not coming to that party. You can do that on your own, but I'm not coming down to your level, and I'm not coming to that party. I'm not about to be, you know, wrestling in the mud with you. I'm wearing an all-white outfit and I'm not interested in that. Just that slight change in how I chose to look at different interactions with people really has improved the joy and happiness and peace that I feel, you know, and I am here for it. I no longer feel the need to be right. I don't feel the need to, you know, prove that I can get back with you. I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. And ever since I stepped into that, I have found so much peace. You know, when Michelle Obama is saying, when they go low, you go higher, I'm living up to that now. But because before, I used to be like, you go low, I go to the crevices of hell. Okay, you go low, I go give Satan a pedicure. That's the type of person I used to be, because I'm like, you are not about to bully me. You are not about to have a moment over here. And now I'm able to recognize and differentiate between different experiences. There are instances where, you know, I have to tell you about yourself because you're not about to do that. But not every situation deserves that type of energy and attention from me. So baby, over here it's all peace. You can still get it. Don't try me. You can still get it. But I'm able to literally sit down, breathe, think through it, pray through it, and be like, God, give me the strength, because I don't want to be that person that I used to be, especially moving into my new job. Like I said, in my previous job, I had just moved from South Africa. I was carrying that hurt and just that being bruised from that experience of being bullied by someone who was in, you know, a managerial position. So I was carrying that hurt, you know, that you're not about to do that. You're not about to abuse your power and oppress me in a work and professional setting just because you think you can, you know. So moving to my current job, I remember praying and I was like, God, I'm tired of this environment. I'm tired of being in an environment that's triggering me, because even though I'm trying to make these changes, but because it's that environment I came into, I'm finding it hard to change myself completely. And when I was, you know, preparing for the transition from my old job to my new one, my current job, I was like, I'm praying for a very productive environment. I'm praying for a healthy working space. But more than anything, I'm praying that if I do encounter, you know, people with certain qualities, like the manager that I had back home, whatever, give me a different set of tools so that I'm able to navigate that season with more grace, and that I don't revert back to my old tendencies and just my old coping mechanisms and how I used to handle different stresses, you know. And God has delivered, because this is literally the most healthiest working environment I've ever had. And because of that, I'm enjoying this season of just being soft and resting in the fact that, you know what, God, I'll give that to you. I'm not about to argue with this person. I'm not about to stoop down to your level. I'm not about to do that, baby. Take it up with God. Take it up with God. Take it up with Him, because I'm not joining you. No, ma'am. So it really takes a lot for me to be riled up to a point where I'm ready to flip tables. It really takes a lot, you know, and I'm just proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. Yes. And now we're moving on to the last point, and I just said I stopped operating in my ego. It's okay to start from the bottom. I've always had an issue with not knowing. I've had an issue with getting what looks like bottom of the barrel. You know, I've always had an issue with basically starting from the bottom. I've always had an issue with that. It like has to be supreme, it has to be like top notch. I live to impress my dad. Just like people pleasing tendencies also came from that. I'm not about to start from the bottom. I need to only be in areas where I can excel. That's why I literally said stop living in my ego, because if you think about it, your inability to ask for help, for instance, that's you operating in your ego. Like I'm not about to admit to the fact that I don't know that. I'm gonna struggle in the dark where you don't know that I'm struggling, you know, to know that skill when I could just come to you and ask you, you know. So I had to come to a point where I'm like, stressing yourself out when you know that you could go to that person and ask for help, but in your mind you're so used to proving to yourself and proving to your dad that you can do it, that you can win, that it's not going to be a mediocre, I'm getting an award for going to school, because I should be at school. So the minute I just got to a point where I was like going through therapy and healing, understanding where that part of me came from. It's not all, oh my god, I'm such a high achiever. No, it also came from the fact that I was brought up by a dad who just wanted supreme, premium, top of the range, you know. My dad just didn't want some rubbish and you come in here with the broadest smile on your face. Like, what are you happy about? What are you celebrating? Like, what are you happy about? What are you celebrating, type of thing, you know? So I stopped living in my ego. Now I'm able to, you know, start from the bottom. I am okay with learning basic stuff instead of just chasing the bigger things. I'm going after the smaller things, because if you think about it, building on that foundation and focusing on the smaller skills, trying to know the smaller stuff can eventually lay the foundation for me to achieve the bigger things, you know. So now I'm able to ask for help. I'm able to say I don't know, because me saying I don't know doesn't mean that I'm weak. I'm okay with starting from the bottom. I'm okay with starting from scratch. I'm okay with not knowing. I'm okay with being a student. I'm okay with, you know, being in a position where I'm ready to receive knowledge. I'm ready to receive skills. I'm ready to receive from my environment and other people. You know, I don't know it all, because I used to be that person. Like, I know it all. If I don't know it all, trust and believe I'm gonna get home and try to sign up for the program so I can know, when I could just say I don't know it all. Like, it's okay, you don't know it all. Like, you don't know it all, and it's okay, you know. So that's just like one of the biggest things that's happened for me, because when I thought back to it, I was like, all the situations that used to stress me out are things that shouldn't even have stressed me out. If only I just humbled myself to ask. If only I just humbled myself to say I don't know. If only I just humbled myself to be like, hey, can you show me ABCD? Can you give me a bit of direction here? And to be quite honest with this part, when I say operating in my ego, I stopped operating in my ego and just being okay with starting from scratch. I think that's what also allowed me to strengthen my relationship and walk with Christ, you know, because I'm able to humble myself and be like, okay, God, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I cannot do this without you. I need you to give me strength. I need you to give me the knowledge. Give me the eyes to see, the ears to hear, the heart to feel, and the spirit to discern. Like, I cannot do this. I'm unable to do this. You know, I don't have the strength, the skill set, the wisdom, the courage, the strength, whatever. I don't have what it takes to do this, and I need you to equip me with the knowledge, the skills, the courage and the wisdom to actually complete this particular task. My ability to just humble myself and shrink myself in situations where I truly do not know and I need to be led and guided, that has helped me in so many ways. I'm more receptive to authority now. I am more open to forming relationships with people in places of authority or in authoritative roles, because like I used to have that hurt by being bullied by my manager. So now it'd be like, you're not just gonna tell me anything. I can do it myself. I don't need you to tell me anything. You know, just making this small change has really positively contributed to this fully functioning sane person that I am today, because I'm not going out of my mind trying to prove a point to anybody or to myself for that matter, and I'm able to humble myself and be like, I really don't know. I really do not know, and I am here as a student, ready for you as a teacher, whether it's life or a person or even God, to teach me. And just that ability to humble myself has really helped in so many different areas of my life. So yeah. Okay, queens. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that last point was all over the place, but if you get it, you get it. If you get it, you get it. If you're a person who really used to operate in the ego and you just don't apologize when you're wrong, you don't know how to humble yourself to be like, I don't know, you will understand what that last point meant. So honestly, changing all these 3 areas that I talked about right now has really had a huge impact on the person that I am, and just how I navigate through life with so much grace. And I'm able to humble myself in different situations. I don't need to get back. I apologize when I need to apologize. I can say if I don't know something. And just having a general overall humble and different attitude towards life has positively contributed to this light person that I am today. So anyway, queens, I hope you enjoyed this sit down video. Do feel free to let me know in the comment section if there's anything that you have recently changed, even if it's not recent, because all the different points that I've mentioned, I think that has been through a period of about 4 years. But I was just sitting down the other day reflecting on it. I was like, this would be a nice sit down video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. It's LYDIA_MSM. Pinterest and TikTok are @StyledByLydiaM, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.